Okay, so there is the table that I'm going to be shooting from. To its left you can see the red flag. It's floating just a little bit in the breeze, not much. There's not really much to speak of, just a little bit of swirling. And right here is what we're going to be aiming at. And these things are tiny. Let's back that off just a little bit. There we go. And we're going to be aiming, let's see here, I'm going to aim for this bad boy right here. Each of these blocks is 1 inch. So to stay inside that little area there would be 2 MOA at 100 yards. So let's go ahead and do it. Hey everybody, Rob Rosenberger here for Mostly 22 LR. I've returned to the range on a different date from the time when you saw those shots taken, and the reason that I did was because the back end of this video didn't turn out the way that I wanted. I covered 2 items when I should have covered 3. So first we're going to talk about air quality, an accurate, inexpensive, and reliable rifle. And then we're going to talk about the shape of that 10-shot group that I took. And then finally, we'll talk about that mysterious shot number 5, because that is not an alibi on my part. An accurate, inexpensive, reliable rifle is easy to obtain these days. Thanks to CNC machining, you can pretty much get an accurate, inexpensive, reliable rifle from Marlin, Ruger, Mossberg, Remington, CZ, Cricket, Savage. Certainly you can get them from Volk Quartzen and from Primary Weapon Systems, but those are a little bit more expensive. They put even more effort into them, but today's inexpensive rifles are accurate and reliable. And the reason that they are is, again, because of CNC machining. CNC machining has taken a lot of the human factor out of these making these weapons. So it's really great to see this kind of quality in a shot group at 100 yards from basically something I took off the shelf. Now that leads me to the shape of that target. The shape of the group is about 1.5 MOA tall and about 1 MOA wide. And this rifle seems to do that a lot. It seems to give me, instead of giving me a circle, it gives me an oval. I'm not sure why that happens. I don't think it's me, because a lot of my other rifles, I don't do that. I get nice round groups. This one seems to be oscillating in this direction instead of being a cloud. So I'm not necessarily upset with this, because as a target shooter, 1.5 MOA versus 1 MOA is pretty damn good. Come on, folks. We're talking about an inexpensive rifle. I paid way less than $300 for that rifle. So to be able to take out a Marlin 60 or a Savage or a Ruger 1022 or any rifle like that and get 1.5 MOA as a circle would be great. I'm also happy to get 1 MOA on the horizontal. Now, if you're a hunter, that's probably a really good thing if you've got a tighter group on the horizontal than on the vertical, because you know that you're going to be getting close to your target, especially if you're shooting on the shoulder toward the heart lung or on the neck toward the brainstem. So those are, and by the way, that's normally what I would call a blush shot: brain, lungs, spine, heart. Those are perfect. This is a great rifle for hunting out to 100 yards even. And remember, I'm shooting subsonic ammunition, and I was shooting with, granted, I was shooting with quality ammo. But that's going to lead some people to say, whoa, Rob, time out. You're cheating. You're using Olympic ammo. You're using a free-floating stock, and you've got a 25 power scope. you're right about that. I have all those things, but that's really not what this experiment is about. It's a demonstration of how great that barreled action is. And I really think that with a Ruger 1022 off the shelf, with a Cricket off the shelf, or a Mossberg 702 for $107 at Walmart, off the shelf, I think I'm going to get really great accuracy out of it. The reason I think that is because of all the CNC machining that's going on now at companies around the world. CNC machining has taken a lot of the human factor out of creating a really great barreled action. After that, it's just the stock and it's the shooter. And of course, it's the ammo. That leads us to part two, which is the shape of that target. The shape of the group that I took. It's about 1.5 MOA tall and about 1 MOA wide. 1 inch wide, 1.5 inches tall. That's an incredible group, even for a target shooter. But why is it like an oval instead of a circle? And that I don't have a good answer for. But this rifle, the XT22, that the details are in the description, that rifle seems to do that a lot. I'm going to have to start up another experiment and see if some of my other XT22s, or maybe the Marlin 57 that I've got, which is a really old one, if those are having the same problem, if they oscillate along the vertical and not creating a cloud during their oscillation. So we'll have to take a look at that. And by the way, if you don't know what cloud and oscillation mean, don't worry about it. It's I'm trying to impress you with my knowledge of shooting targets. And then let's talk about shot number 5. Let's put shot number 5 up on the screen here so that you know what I'm talking about. Okay, so there's shot number 5. It goes wild. Why does shot number 5 go wild? Now, I'm happy to call an alibi whenever I get stupid, but I wasn't stupid then. What I think happened here is I think that the magazine that I was using is the problem. The last round that feeds in off of that magazine, off of any 795 magazine, if you're a Marlin fan, is failing to load correctly into the chamber. And I think what happened here is that when I loaded 5 and I closed the bolt, I had a mar on that bullet that made it fly. So I don't think it was the ammo, I don't think it was the shooter, I don't think it was the rifle, I think it's the magazine design. What's my problem? I think it's the 795 magazines that I've been using. That's the real problem. What I think I should do is I should go out and get an experiment and see if the XT22 compatible or XT22 specific magazines are the solution here. The 795 magazines just doesn't seem to be feeding right into that one. I'm going to have to do a test on some of the other ones as well to see what kind of last round take-up that I've got. I don't know if that's the problem, but I'm kind of upset that my last round on that rifle goes in so poorly. I have to work carefully to make sure that I don't mar that bullet, and I'm not sure that I did that on shot number 5. That's why I think that 5 is a flyer, because it got marred. So what have we learned here today? Well, we've learned as a demonstration that you can actually take today's modern rimfire rifles and you can get accurate, inexpensive, and reliable. You can get good air quality out of pretty much everything. I just happen to be shooting Marlins, but if you've got a CZ, or if you've got a Henry, or if you've got a Cricket, I'm betting you real good that you put the right scope, the right ammo, and the right shooter behind it, you're going to get incredible accuracy too. So for the cheapness of today's rimfire rifles, I think we're doing great. I'm Rob Rosenberg for Mostly 22 LR. And remember, 22 LR is real ammunition. Treat it as such. Wow. That's 125 shots. It's this thing's cleaner than I thought, but I cleaned it a lot. Oh, I know. I know how to solve this. Here we go. Let's do this. Oh yeah, baby. That's 125 shots right there. All right.